So the next team is Isaac Norwood Dweck. He's been a captain before, but not for several years, and his organization is Norwood Nation. Very good name. I'm impressed by that name.
Well, let's get into Norwood Dweck right now. On draft day, I was drafted by Nathan, and then traded right away to Norwood. Right away, I was excited. I said, I got a starting spot at second base. Norwood gives me a call, gives me the whole captain call. I'm so excited. If I'm not going to play second, I'm so happy you're going to play second. I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. And then all of a sudden I go to sleep. Next morning I wake up, I'm traded. So I don't know who's going to be playing third base for him now because I know Norwood's playing second. So good luck to you, Norwood. You were the great captain for about 12 hours. And I'm pulling for you. You're one of my former organizations, just like the rest of the league. But Norwood, I'm pulling for you. And I just hope Edery has the same kind of year he had last year, because Edery was a very big part of your team, of CTU, the championship team, and as well as Sonny. Sonny last year had a career year, and I think we all could agree it's going to be very tough to match those numbers, and you're going to need Sonny and Edery to come through, and this season the onus is on you guys.
We might add, you did mention previously you were traded. That was part of a blockbuster trade. Jack Abadi and his father Chucky were traded to Nathan's organization for Eddie Rishti, Lee Rishti, and Jack Jamal, and you were included in deals. So that really strengthened his team because Eddie Rishti could play short, Norwood could move over to second, and it helped the infield up dramatically. And I believe, according to reports, Sali Shaheba is going to be playing third base for that team.
Well, definitely the infield is a lot stronger than it was before when you have a guy like Rishi just plugging him in there, and he's a perennial all-star. But I think...
Actually, I take that back.
Go ahead.
Bash is actually the third baseman on that team.
Oh, and Bash was it?
Bash had a great fielding year last year. Oh, 100%. He was a great year. So I believe Soli's going to be playing short center, and you have Sammy Tal at first, Norwood at second. Outstanding infield.
Again, that infield really looks solid to me, and between you and me and the camera, I was a deal breaker on that big blockbuster, right?
Actually, they weren't going to do it, honestly, until your name was included. So Norwood is, again, he has, I feel A.B. Saka is going to be really up-and-coming pitcher in 2-3 years. I think he'll be one of the top pitchers in the league, and I think he's going to come into his own this year. It was one year under his belt, and with his leadership and with the team that they have, they don't have too much power, but I like a lot of they have a lot of guys that get on base, a lot of average hitters, and I think that team is, is going to be right up there. Maybe not top with the others, but I think they'll be in the mix.
Well, one thing you failed to mention about A.B. Sack is he's the best hitting pitcher in the league. He will give you a solid spot in the batting order. Unlike other pitchers which slot themselves, it doesn't hurt the team to have a pitcher hitting by A.B. Saka. And I don't know why you're giving him 2-3 years. I think A.B. could be a solid contributor as a pitcher this year and lead his team to the playoffs and maybe to the glory land. I don't know.
And actually, there's also an unknown on this team. Our scouts down in Arizona had him rated very high as a fielder. Gabe Abadi came from the Mexico City Tijuanas, and he was an outstanding fielder. So he was like, they call him like a Jose Oquendo type.
I understand, but I think you're a little misinformed in the name of the team. He was in the Tijuana Table Dancers.
Oh.
And by the way, from what I heard, he just beat Darryl McFadden in the combine on the 3.3 on the sprint. So he does have the speed. He, from what I hear, has a very solid glove, but they're going to need him to have a decent batting average and decent on-base percentage for them to be a solid team.
Yeah, I don't think he's really got a position right now, but I think he could be a real sleeper down there towards the end of the year.
Very fast.
Yeah, towards the end of the year, and could be one of those guys that could be a future star in the YMSL. The next team is Max Sutton's tremendous organization. Another rookie captain, a second-year player, Max Sutton, came within one game of winning a championship in his first rookie campaign. Finished third in voting for Rookie of the Year. Outstanding fielding last year, finished third in the Gold Glove, and also really came in the playoffs at 502 in the playoffs. So Max has got a very interesting team. He's got Henry Shalom at short, which he deferred Max into playing second. Jared Schulman returned from a torn ACL for center field. Outstanding center fielder, scrappy leadoff hitter. And we have another Schulman, ironically enough, Yaakov Schulman from the Lakewood League. And he's got some proven hitters in Douglas Dweck, who humbly enough will tell you he hit 571.
Humbly. He hit a 315. No one knows that he hit a 315 this year. But all of his hits.
But with 2 outs, nobody on.
Right, all of his hits happen to drive runs in,
right.
So you have to look at that. But the batting average, I think they're going to need Douglas to step it up a little bit to be a key cog in that lineup. But he definitely is clutch. Yeah. But they're going to need him to be a little more consistent with the bat when runners aren't on base to be a catalyst.
And actually, Douglas is hitting in the 5-hole, so he's got a lot of pressure on him. Leo Picciotto had an outstanding year last year, led the league in hits, second in the league in hits, 30 hits, and he is definitely, if he comes back with his same year he had last year, that's a real bonus. And listen, they have Steve Azer, outstanding pitcher, veteran pitcher, numerous championships in many different leagues, and he could, if he shows up every week, he'll definitely be an outstanding contributor.
Well, Steve Azer is the MVP of the Toledo Mudhounds, and we're a couple
Mustangs.
And the Marlboro Mustangs. This is in the league in the Caribbean, and when he came over here last year, and he only could make 75% of the games. The reason being is he was splitting time in the other league, but now he's here full time, and I was a part of his team in a tournament this past summer, and he is that good. For all you that didn't get a chance to see him in his first year in the YMSL, he's better than you think he is. He's got heat, and he can throw the slow stuff with the best of them. Very big fan of Steve Azer. I think he's a very, very sleeper pick. You got him in the 4th round, 5th round. Very solid pick. And you mentioned Yaakov Schulman. He played for the Lakewood Blue Claws last year. Also, from what I hear, very, very solid center fielder. He played in the Hardball League. And I just hope he could keep his end up with the stick because he was a high pick for Max. And was he 4th pick overall?
No, I think 5th.
5th pick overall, so he's going to be a very solid lead. But I think the main part of Max's team is Eddie Abani. Eddie Abani, he's the best catcher in the league besides Steve Corman. And I think he puts up numbers that no one knows. He's very humble about it. Eddie Abani, I'm a big fan of yours.
Also, they have backup pitcher in Ronnie Oved in case Azer can't go the 2 games. Oved, a very qualified pitcher. And also a couple of, like we mentioned before, outstanding young rookie hitter, Edmund Dweck, another future. I would put him as a younger Labo. I can't put him any other way. He's a young version of Labo.
Well, I got a chance to see Edmund last week. We had a little swing around by Fireman's Field, and there was a couple of the guys, and Edmund was tearing the ball up. He was going opposite field. He was pulling the ball right, everything. There was no air under anything. He hit line drives, solid throughout. I'm telling you, the guy's a really good hitter. I just hope he doesn't crumble with the pressure of the league. He's a very low-key guy. I hope the pressure of the media, me and you, don't really get to him. Maybe he's not going to see this, but from what I hear, our sponsorship is going to be worldwide now, and we're getting networks. So I just think, hope he doesn't get hurt, and also at the same time, Morris Harari. He's gonna be, and from what I heard, he's a very good fielder, and they just hope anything he hits is bonus. He has very solid hands. He played shortstop for the Hillel team last year, and Morris Harari and Edmund Dweck, again, more youth, and we'll see how they pan out.
And if the media doesn't get to Edmund Dweck, I hope Saban doesn't, because that could send him jumping ship to another league very quickly.
Well, Saban, from what I heard, he's joining the independent coverage. He's joining his own network.
Oh, he is.
And he's rivaling against the YMSL network.
No network.
The No Network. No, the Saban network. And but it's rated MA for the mature audience, because Saban, to be honest with you, you can't have him in the same field as your mother, because she won't let me be in the league anymore. But Saban's a great guy. I saw him. He also lost a lot of weight. He trimmed down 15, 20 pounds. I saw him Mr. Broadway. He ate like one of these vegetarian turkey burgers. I don't know. But he looks good. Hopefully his power is still like it always was. I just hope, what is it, 18 years now running, he hasn't won?
Yeah.
Well, maybe this year, if I end up on your team, I hope we win.
Okay, before we get to the remaining teams, we're going to have a break for our sponsors. our good friends at RBI Inc., where you can get the value. Just tell Ricky you were sent by the YMSL Network.
Vitamin water. I love it.
I will be back in a moment. Thank you.
The Dashless Report is brought to you by RBI. No flues, no juice.